Donald Trump has just spoken from the Oval Office, and what he said confirms what many investors feared: the U.S. government shutdown will not end this week. His comments were brief but direct. He blamed Democrats for the ongoing stalemate, calling the shutdown an opportunity to cut bureaucratic waste and streamline spending. But more importantly, he made no mention of any deal or negotiation to reopen the government. This statement effectively pushes expectations for reopening into November, extending what has already become one of the longest shutdowns in modern history. For the crypto market, the timing couldn't be worse. ETF approvals that many expected this month are now facing further delays. XRP, in particular, has been hit hard by the uncertainty. Bitcoin is currently trading around $107,000, down about 3% on the day, while XRP has dropped more than 4.5%, falling to around $2.29 after touching intraday lows of $2.28. The entire crypto market is reacting to renewed volatility, and traders who were waiting for positive news out of Washington are instead seeing another round of selling pressure. Trump's speech came just hours after several failed attempts in the Senate to advance temporary funding proposals. Lawmakers remain divided, with no new vote scheduled for this Friday, October 17th. That means there is no procedural path for reopening the government tomorrow. Analysts are now projecting that the shutdown could extend at least until early November. But not everything is frozen. The OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, operates independently from Congress and can still process financial licensing applications. That means Ripple's pending U.S. banking license, submitted to the OCC earlier this year, can still move forward. The shutdown does not stop the OCC from approving or denying that request. If Ripple's license moves ahead, it would position the company as one of the few blockchain institutions with direct U.S. banking authorization, strengthening its role within the financial system even as ETF approvals remain on hold. The only regulatory body significantly impacted is the SEC, which cannot advance ETF filings while the government remains closed. The Federal Reserve, meanwhile, is running on limited staff and operations, which could slow Ripple's potential request for a master account, but that process is separate from the OCC application. The OCC path remains one of the few open doors for Ripple in the United States during the shutdown. Market sentiment remains tense. Traders were hoping for a sign of progress before the weekend, but Trump's tone made it clear that no deal is close. He reiterated his criticism of Democratic spending priorities and hinted that the standoff could continue until a real reform is reached. That line alone sent shockwaves through financial markets, causing a wave of liquidations across major exchanges. XRP's recent drop is not just a technical correction, it reflects broader fear that ETF approvals could be pushed further into the future. The longer the government remains closed, the longer it takes for regulatory clarity to return, and that includes progress on the long-awaited Clarity Act, which would define how cryptocurrencies are regulated in the U.S. Trump avoided commenting on China or the ongoing trade tensions, which is a relief to many investors given the fragile state of the market. Even without that topic, his remarks were enough to fuel another day of selling pressure. As of tonight, global markets expect continued uncertainty until at least early November, with limited liquidity and high volatility likely to persist. The bottom line is simple: the U.S. government will not reopen tomorrow, ETF approvals are on hold, and the Clarity Act is frozen. But Ripple's OCC banking license continues to advance, a rare bright spot in an otherwise paralyzed regulatory landscape. For long-term XRP holders, that path forward could prove more important than short-term volatility. So what do you think? Will Ripple's banking license be approved before the shutdown ends, or will Washington's gridlock keep slowing the entire crypto industry? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this update useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next big development.